What's going on, guys? All right, it's Thursday, the 24th of August. It is so dang hot here. This is record heat for Northeast Texas, one of the top 3 in the history of Northeast Texas. And believe me, it is affecting things huge. So, unfortunately, I do not have a whole lot of reports for you publicly wise that's any different than what I just gave you 2 days ago. Your best to fish at night. I would fish other lakes. I'm just telling you, Lake Fork right now it's got a really nasty color. It's in the 90 degrees. It's falling at a half an inch or more a day. You know, there are some fish being caught. I had a friend of mine who went out at night and fished all night, and you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning it was still 83, 84 degrees, but he was jumping the night lights. And there's a lot of docks on the lake that do have night lights. And if you can hit the right one, you can catch some fish. I'll give you a couple of tips. When you look at the night lights, obviously you need to have bait fish there, shad. If there's shad there, all right, that's the beginning of the possibilities of being able to catch some bass off of them. If you see catfish and gar, leave. The bass will not be there. Even if you see white bass, might not see largemouth show up. But if there's gar there and catfish there, leave. Just leave. Go to a new light. You need to see, believe it or not, brim and crappie. If you see brim and crappie on the night lights, the big bass will be there. They will show up. Okay, that's really important. So that's one thing I can tell you. We're just in that realm right now where it's just the dog days of summer. I've never liked the dog days of summer. In fact, when I used to guide for the Hookup Outfitters in Phoenix, Arizona, which is even hotter than here, but much deeper lakes. You know, these fish here can't go to 40, 50, 60 feet. In our lakes in Arizona, they'll go to 60 feet, 65 feet. Go below thermocline in a 200-foot lake, and it's cooler, better water. You don't have that option here in Texas. Most of our lakes don't have a good oxygen source below the first thermocline, so the fish are forced to stay up in the hot water. They become very, very lethargic and low oxygen levels and so on and so on. But even in Arizona during the dog days of summer, even in the high country, the mountains, 6,000, 7,000 feet elevation where the trout are, those lakes would be very similar to Texas lakes. They're not deep. The trout lakes are 30, 35 feet. They start to get pretty hot. And we would have the same thing there. When it's too hot, especially on a cold water fish like trout, it just was tough to catch them. So the other aspect that I can tell you is, as always, I mean, in the summertime, if you can find a little shallow water reef with a quick drop to deep water, and you can hit it right at daybreak, the first 30 minutes, first hour max, you can still catch big fish on a topwater popper, topwater walking bait. But that's about it. You're just not going to pattern the fish. Now, I did have, and I'm going to share this with you, I did have a friend of mine who went live scoping the other day. And he basically said, you know, you can find him with the live scope, but you literally have to be good enough with the live scope to hit them on the nose with the bait. They're in the trees. They're suspending in the trees, and they're lethargic. And he said if you could hit them on the nose, you could catch them. And he caught about 7 fish. And he's using glide baits, which is crazy. You wouldn't think glide baits in the middle of summer. So with that, I just want to share a couple of my favorite glide baits. My favorite 2 colors are just going to be bone white, plain bone white, and or what we call Mike's citrus shad. I don't know that you'll find many glide baits in this citrus shad color, so you're going to need the brand, and I'm going to give that to you. But this is just your simple bone white with a gray tail. Okay, I'm going to leave this rubber band on these. And the brand that I had made for me is by Cactus Creek Outdoors. You can find them on Facebook, Cactus Creek Outdoors. This one right here is called Mike's Citrus Shad. If you'll run that color right there, it's one of my favorite colors, and or the bone white, and you get good with your live scope, you can catch them here. But it's just so uncomfortably hot to be out in the boat. It really is. So, a couple reminders. Remember, Lake Fork Trophy Lures is producing some new colors. So it doesn't matter where you're fishing, these colors can be very effective. If you're in other states or other places, remember that we've got 4 colors that I actually didn't tell you on a 4th one the other day. But between the hyper sticks, the ring fry, the creature bait, the 10-inch worm, we got a 7-inch worm. These colors are very, very effective. And these colors are Bourbon Street, okay, Bourbon Street, which is kind of like Outlaws Magic, I think. No, I'm sorry, Texas Smoke. So Bourbon Street is similar to Texas Smoke. Bourbon Street. Then we've got Plum Apple, which is awesome. The Plum Apple is just a killer color, period. We have California 420, which they put out, which is really, really good color. And then the newest and one of my most favorites, I love peanut butter and jelly. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I love peanut butter and jelly jigs. And I absolutely love PB&J on worms and plastics and trailers and things. And so now we've got Lake Fork Trophy Lures with what they call Lake Fork PB&J. And that's because it's unlike any other PB&J you've ever seen. It's laminated, so it's two-tone, and I do believe, I hope I don't go out on a limb here, they are making some swirl baits. The swirl thing I can't promise is on the shelf. I might be making a mistake, but I know they're capable of having swirls. Maybe you could custom order that if you have to. But the laminate two-sided, like the hyper stick. Here's the hyper stick. This is just awesome PB&J color right here. I love it, and I cannot wait for you guys to fall in love with it and get out there and see it work for you. So just remember this. When you go to Lake Fork Trophy Lures, lakeforktrophy.lures.com, and you make an order, use my code MCF10. First 3 letters of my last name and 10, you get a discount on any of the in-house fours. And other than that, guys, I just don't have a lot more information to share at this time. We're going to cool down here. It looks like next week we do get some relief. I don't think relief is going to be an immediate answer to good bass fishing on Lake Fork. So keep in mind Lake Athens and Welsh and lakes that have vegetation, grass, are going to fish a lot better than Fork. But the cool trend coming here, and Big Bass Splash coming in September. Usually Big Bass Splash produces a lot of big fish. I've seen as many as 27 overs in 3 days of Big Bass Splash. So we'll see a little bit of a combination of some cool trend down, maybe some winds get to move in the lake and turn the lake a little bit. Maybe even a rainstorm brings a little fresh water. But I promise you some better fishing is coming real soon. So hit the like button, comment below, and listen. The members only channel. You need to become a members only channel. A members only. All right, I am now actually going to start putting all the other lakes in the members only channel. I was doing it here publicly, and I really feel like it's just too much information. I'm gathering information on 6 or 7 other lakes, like Tawakoni, Lake Levon, Lake Hubbard, Possum Kingdom, and I'm talking about bass fishing and crappie fishing and catfishing and everything. So at this point, somebody kind of told me the other day, they came down on me the other day, said that should be in the members only. So I'm sorry that it's not going to be publicly anymore, but if you want that extended report with all the details of a bunch of lakes around here, some more information, better information about Lake Fork, because remember, I leave some of the juice out. Not right now. Right? What you just got is what's for real. There's nothing going on in Fork. But if you do want the juice of Lake Fork and the information on all the other lakes and other species, you need to be a member. Look in the description below this video and subscribe. It's $4.99 a month. You spend more on fishing line, lures in your tackle box that you never use. Man, the channel is very, very valuable. For $5 a month, I know you can afford to subscribe. It's not going to kill you. You're not going to miss it. You're actually going to be really grateful for the information. So look in the description below, click on the link, become a member. Other than that, take care, great fishing, and I'll be back next week, next Tuesday, with a little more public information about fishing on Lake Fork. Thanks for watching.